Hello everyone, it's SeizeTheBeat again. I'm going over my Chill Trap Half Kit. It is an 8 sample / clip pack with fully macroed knobs. Everything's set up. It'll be free download. I'll put a link in the description. And also, if you find the web page, it'll be linking back here to show how the stuff works on it. I'm going to go over samples and the macros included. I'm going to start with the samples. The samples are actually divided up into 2 sections. On the left, you'll find the melody stuff. On the right, you'll find the drums. The melodies are actually using the Massive VST. So you'll need Massive to use it. I just used some like factory presets and then applied a few effects to them because they sounded good and I liked them and I thought they'd go well in the kit. So I'm going to go over those first. I have chill. I have 2 chill pads, which are actually the same. It's just a different note. And then the laser is the same. So same thing, just a different note. And it's got the notes that it is on there. So the laser is like D4 and C2, and the chill is C3 and B2. And then the macros will come into play later with that, and I'll show you about that. So you've got those. I've already set up a choke for them. So if you're playing one and you play the other, it cuts it off. Now this might not seem important, but later on when you use the clip reverb, it'll be important. Same thing with the laser. Cuts each other off. So those are the melody clips included. Then I have the drum samples. I have an open hat. It's just a simple open hat. I've got a clap. Got a snare. And then an 808 sub kick, which is actually a kick and a sub kick. The default key for that is E. I haven't included that anywhere, but a friend was asking me about it on Facebook, so I thought I'd put that in this video just in case anybody's wondering. Default sub key is E. So that is it for the samples. I'm going to move over to the macros now. And I'm actually going to start on the right side of the macros. And there's good reason for that because this is actually the first thing you have to deal with. Velocity. I have max velocity and minimum velocity. Reason I have this is because my LPD8 does not do good with velocity. I mean, it has velocity input, like you heard earlier probably. But it's very sensitive and I don't like dealing with it. So I included these. All you have to do is turn the minimum velocity all the way up. And it'll only play maximum velocity. If you want to edit that, you can. The max velocity is actually inverted. The reason I inverted it is because by default I wanted people to have the full range in case they wanted it. But if you need to edit that, you can. All you have to do is click the mapping button and then max velocity and just invert the range. This is actually important here, the macro mappings up here, because there's several different things that I've limited because on the gain, I limited how much the gain will go up because I didn't want it to get distorted. So if you need to edit anything, just use the map key. Next, we'll go over the 808 release. That's fairly simple. By default, it's also inverted. It's because I like my clip to play all the way through. I like the entire thing to go through. But if you don't want that, you can pull up the release. And you can actually make a kind of a different kick, just that first kick. If you hold it, of course, it'll play through, but that's the release for that. The chill LFO has to do with the chill pads, of course. So if I play one, and then I mess with that LFO, it's just mapped to the LFO in Massive. So that's what controls those. The clip reverb, actually I'm going to go over that one last, so I'll come back to that. Laser notes, that's the transposition of the lasers. Now, it's actually using the pitch plugin from Ableton, but I didn't call it pitch because I don't know why they called it pitch. It should be called transposition, I guess, because when I think of pitch, I think of editing the sound while it's playing. Like I can move a pitch, but that's not what this does. This actually just changes the note. So like if I click this and then I move it, it doesn't change the note until I click it again. Right? So that's why I called it notes instead of pitch. Then the 808 pitch, which is just the pitch of the 808. And like I said, see, I called this one pitch because you can actually edit it while you're playing it. Right? Limiter gain, which is, I'm actually going to leave that off, but I'll show you just now. You probably won't be able to hear me because it'll probably be really, really loud in the video. So yeah, that's what that does. It just boosts the volume while limiting it from going above negative 0.3 dB. So you can use it if you want to. I prefer not to. I usually do something in the master that will make it louder, but I included that just in case anybody wanted to. Because by default, the kit is very quiet. So if you need to make it louder, you can use that. Okay, and then going back to the clip reverb, which is the one I wanted to talk about. Now, this is where the choke comes into play because you don't want the reverb overlapping. So here, if I turn this up, now you can adjust this while it's playing. So you can make kind of a fade in. Right, and this also affects the lasers, so. Alright, now the reason I put the choke in is because let's say I'm playing this pad with a lot of reverb, and I want to play the other one, but I know it's going to overlap. I don't have to worry about that with the choke because it'll cut it off. Oops, press that laser. Do you see them? It cuts it off. It's got like a little bit of an attack on it. But it cuts it off so you don't get like an overlapping reverb. That would be far too loud to use. So that is the macros. By default, they are all MIDI mapped. So you can see up here, CC1 through 8. Which is what I have on my LPD8 because it's kind of set up almost perfectly to use with the macros on Ableton. So I have that by default set up in the project file. You can go edit that if you want. If you have your info slash notes view or whatever you call it, I guess it's just info view like it says here. This will basically just show information. I don't really use it that much, but like if you hover over stuff, it'll tell you what they do. And I have included that in my macros. The macros each have a setup to show you exactly what they do. It'll also tell you why their range is inverted or, you know, stuff like that. So if you need information on them, just hover over it and look in the notes section and it'll tell you exactly what it does. Alright, that is about it for this video. I just wanted to quickly show what was included in the kit. The download will be in the description. It'll be at the bottom of the page, so enjoy.